What happened to the music?
It's coming. It's coming. We were having all that other sidebar.
No, right? We really did.
I forgot to push the button.
You live over here. I'm streaming over here, and yeah.
We had a lot going on. Pre-show. A lot going on.
That
Hey,
part.
everybody. We gonna get it. We gonna get it. Mm-hmm. Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I feel like I'm on the islands. I need to go back to Jamaica. It was so wonderful. Look at Danny.
I'm on the island. Let's be on the island. Come on.
I'm on the island. I'm like Buddha. I'm going to the islands. Yes. Woo! It has been a day. We on the island. Okay, look, I'm back with my 20 something. I forgot it was in the office until I came in here, and I'm like, oh, never mind. I got a drink for tonight.
Oh, she back on it. Jazz. But I'm gonna shake my head.
Woo, it's burning all the way down. Hello, everyone. Welcome to another marvelous Monday on Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. Come on in. Tell a friend. Yes, come join us tonight. We're gonna go off topic a little bit tonight. We're gonna have a little bit of fun because we got a bunch of women on here that like a certain sport. So come on in and join us tonight. We got a special guest with us this evening.
Yes.
And I'm gonna let her give her own intro because her knowledge is vast.
You know, can I give the intro?
Yes, please.
I'm like super excited.
Hey, Lorenzo.
Hey, Lorenzo.
He said Juicy is on juice today. Hey, I've been sick too. I've been sick all week, so it's burning all the way down. Oh my God.
Get some healing energy on that bad boy too. Healing energy.
Oh, I need it.
Spirits.
Oh my goodness. I'm gonna be a little sinusy, a little nasally. Whole thing. I just hope I can remember everything. I have it all wrote down, thank God. This is actually part of my life, so I do know it pretty well. Everybody come on in, tell a friend, say hello, let us know that you are listening or watching or Who we got? TCU is 7 and I guess that's Georgia, 31. Is that correct there? Georgia. Oh, college. Okay. TCU.
Oh, we got NCAA going on?
It's a bowl game.
Oh, it's a national championship. Championship.
That's the game against Georgia. They're the underdogs.
Who, Georgia is?
No, TCU.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, they're reflecting that in the score right now.
No, they have candy in the box. Oh, it's candy? I didn't know that.
All right.
Yeah, nobody expected TCU to be in this game against Georgia.
Well, hello, everyone. Welcome to another marvelous Monday on Juicy Tales Erotic Chat. We have a special episode this evening, going to be a little bit different than our erotic topics or our relationship topics, but it is definitely a topic that is near and dear to all of our hearts. So we definitely can't wait to share all of this information with each and every one of you. But of course, you all know I could not do this show without my beautiful, gorgeous, vivacious, fabulously wonderful ebony queens, my melanated beauties, Miss Danny's Windows, and Miss Jasmine Purple Rain. Give it up for my beauties. Yes. And we have a special guest in the house, and I'm going to let Miss Danny's Windows do the intro for our girl that is joining us as well, who just, hang on, she dropped off.
Okay, I'm gonna still give her introduction. It's all good. So, this woman right here is my bestie. She is the host of Football Fan Rush Radio and Network. She is the diehard Skull fan of the Minnesota Vikings. That is her team. She is also not a fan of the Chicago Bears, but we'll let that slide because she's from Chicago. But we'll let that slide because it goes deeper for her when it comes to the Vikings. Anyway, whatever. This woman is absolutely fucking awesome, fucking amazing. Everything from motorcycles to aviation to vehicles to you name it. My girl is every fucking thing. So please welcome my bestie, Miss Star Mecca. Right there.
Thank you. Give me back. Like,
Woo,
okay, what's
snap.
going on?
Oh.
What happened?
Hi, cutie patootie.
Hey,
Hi,
what's
baby. Oh, so happy you could join us tonight. Oh my God. We're talking football, y'all. We're talking football. Yes. The ladies are talking football. Okay.
Yes.
And we're doing it in light of what took place last Monday night. As a matter of fact, we were broadcasting live when pretty much in the NFL, the heartbeat for the NFL actually stopped as well. If you're not familiar with what took place last week on the field between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Buffalo Bills, one of the Buffalo Bills players went down. He's a cornerback or safety, excuse me, Mr. Damar Hamlin, and his heart stopped on the field. And he is only the second player to have that happen. However, his results were better than the first player who actually passed. And I'm going to read about that story as well. So we wanted to take some time because there was a lot of talk and speculation and every kind of thing that you can think about when it comes to NFL players. And as someone that formerly was in a relationship with an NFL player for 19 years, and we are still very, very good friends. And I actually called him because he's a safety. He was a safety when he played. So he played the same position. It is quite sobering because this is just a game, right, guys? It's just a game. It's all it is. It's a pastime. It's a game. But it's a lot more than just that. And I think all of us here know that. So tonight we're going to talk about football. And we have one of the best experts below me right now, to talk about football and some of the interconnections in the NFL that people really just don't know about. They don't understand contracts. They don't understand really what these players get paid. They don't understand that that they don't understand the benefits. That there aren't any. Okay. So there's a lot to unpack here today. And we're going to start with our very special co-host, Miss Becca. Can you go ahead and just tell everybody a little bit about yourself and how you got into football? Mm.
Hi, Jasmine. So, for me has been my life since I was 3. I've been one. If I was 3, the funniest my family tells is I wanted to watch that when I was a little girl. Chicago Bears had the honey bear. I thought that was a job. You could really apply on the field with football went away, and I was a little worried. As cowboy cheerleaders move, be around football, wanting to be a cheerleader, commentating to football show from 2020. We're on the air every Sunday. Amazing people, cams. I've been on I've been in Super Bowls. Biggest thing about it all, what people think. Every Sunday, the glam and all the fans, those players starting in Pew. It's a lot on their back. There's a lot of CTE injuries, or to just be a game. Even though it is so enjoy every bit of it, and they get, but it is a lot on their families.
It truly is. It truly is, because a lot of people don't understand, and I think that's where we're going to start with our conversation tonight is maybe work our way back. But a lot of people don't understand about injuries. They don't understand what happens to an NFL player, and their families live with this. They live with the injuries, whether you're a wife or you're a child, you're a mother, you're a father, uncle, sister, close friends. When players go down, it is, you first of all, you hope and pray they get up, and that's the first thing. You want them to get up. You want them to walk off under their own power. But a lot of them nowadays, and I have my theory because I studied sports medicine, and my theory is, and it's just my theory, is when they did change how they practice, they're not hitting anymore.
Correct.
And so now they get into these, right. And now they get into these games and they go full force, and you're seeing more injuries, more what I call ticky-tacky injuries as well. Back in the day, you kept playing. You didn't get these types of injuries. I can think of 5 Browns players this season that have gone out with ACLs. Sorry, hold on one second. You might hear gunshots in the background. Okay, sorry.
You know where I am. I'm you know. You just hold on.
Let me make sure they're kind of down the street a little bit. They fine. But a lot of players are getting and that's a leg day thing. Hello, Cleveland. Make sure they do some legs, okay? God. Woo, you need a trainer. Damn it. Okay, anyway. But players go down and you want them to get up and you want them to go off the field under their own power. Sometimes this doesn't happen. And I think last Monday, the whole world, because this young man was 24, is 24 years old. And he had a heart attack. Matter of fact, his heart stopped. It stopped. And they had to and you saw grown men crying, beside themselves, unable to console each other, not knowing what to do, looking lost on national television. And everybody saw this. Because that game was so important, everybody saw this. Your thoughts on how the injuries affect family? What can you share with folks?
It's really hard, and yet that part is it's something that's true. A lot of these, the Pee Wee League, in college, anywhere from 1 to 3 already. They've had some of them even because just medically, but for his family to be have been on the sidelines with his, and that happened. That was with every single white child and every family attend. Anytime goes down with any type, like you said, you want them devastating because these guys, this is their life, livelihood, football, and to be 25 when you thought you were going to have a 3 to 7 year career in football, that was the game that ended it as your rookie season.
Are you able to hear? Oh, okay, really quick. Are you able to hear? Because it's breaking up to me. Is it clear to you?
I'm understanding what she's saying, but I'm getting like every other word.
Yeah, it's really choppy, and I don't want her to sound bad at all. I want them to hear, because what she's saying actually is really like some real shit. It's real. It's like, because in essence, what I'm hearing her say is, when you're talking about families and how they're dealing with something that's happened to one of the players, and the players in essence is the breadwinner for the family. So everything that player does in essence is going to help that family, and you're looking at someone, especially you love this person. It's not necessarily like, okay, yeah, this is my meal ticket, but no, you really truly love this person. This person is something. This is your family, and you're sitting there watching this happen.
So it's not even always to family understands, lives football, economic sense, their life, a little kid. And so the NFL, professional sports, it is literally is an average. So for an American football player, career starts at years old. It accelerates in college, especially college program that you attend. Very few of them make it to the double rounds of drafts and 3-man roster. That's all of the people that even college. So this is their ultimate goal, is to get to, but it's a brotherhood. It's every single man counts, and they don't understand even if it's a bad season. So when you have injury, aside from one member or favorite players, was this the last game while fully fulfilling my dream here, and now I'm gonna have a injury, or I can see season-ending injury, and those who tolls, not the player. This is, he has football forever. Out ridiculous, best leagues, the best trainers, best doctors, and like a freak turn and pivot on the knee. We've seen them go down, ankles folding, like these actually be career ending. To the mental aspect of a 26-year-old who fall into their early 30s, what to do. Biggest problem with this is not a full what happens when football. It's a brushed over. Nobody thinks they're really gonna, but then gonna go on. Their brother and that team and any other are going to still be during the season. They are faced with ending injuries, and that a lot of people don't handle.
And this is something that when it comes to this, when it comes to sports, period, every player is literally one hit
Oh,
away from a career ending, and them if your career is over, them checks is no longer coming in, and you're the breadwinner, you're the person that's actually taking care of this family, and you're the one that's out there taking the risk, getting the hits and everything else. And something like what happened last week, like thinking about that, we were like in the middle of a show, and somebody was like, somebody went down, stopped breathing. I can't imagine being that family
that was
of him.
probably because of how media is, on several different outlets, ABC, via your phone. So this was, like Juicy said, this was such for playoff reasons. Hardest thing, way he dropped, but just there's one out. But when the Cincinnati had to join them also, and they needed the ambulance, most of the time they can get and stabilize enough to get them off the field. They'll um and, and they'll take them. Had to be done on. There were still cameras and different networks, because I was watching, and to even Adam Schefter and Booger Bats to this, this is something hadn't even they anything like this, and to get they resuscitated him, stopped his heart stopped. That is the
Yeah.
absolute worst.
Heart stopped me. That right there, honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you. When I saw what happened, it was like, because it was like literally he took two steps and then
Just dropped. Mm-hmm. It was
like, we know
we
that football
couldn't believe
is
it.
a contact. We know football is a contact sport, so we know that people be getting hit. But to see something like that was just like, it was jolting.
Mm-hmm.
So in regards to your question, what you asked, Juicy, in regards to the family, if I'm jolted and I'm not even related to that dude, I don't even know that dude from Adam, I can't even imagine what his family is feeling.
And the thing of it is the only family that was there, from what I'm understanding, was his mother. His mother had traveled to Cincinnati with
Yep.
so his whole family was not there, and it just so happened that his mother went to the game. And of course, the NFL is very good about, they know where you're sitting. They got her down to the ambulance. She did get to see him before they took him to the hospital.
Yep.
What I will tell everyone about the NFL is this: number one, they have, in every city that they play in, they do have a contingency plan in place for severe injuries. In every city, they have a direct route to the hospital. They have a hospital that they're going to deal with. They have police escorts, motorcades. Just like when they bring the teams in, they have a motorcade. If they need to
They
take them
have
out
it.
anywhere, they have a motorcade. So the NFL is very good about making sure, and it's the closest hospital. And it happened that they took him to a trauma hospital down in Cincinnati. And honestly, for this young man, the best state for this to happen in would have been Ohio, because they could have flown him from Cincinnati to Cleveland at the Cleveland Clinic, which is one of the top cardiac hospitals in the world. So, and the Browns use the Cleveland Clinic. So They could have gotten him here if that was necessary as well. But it is very when I owned a team, even if my players, my own self as an owner, my players went down, and we're talking minor league, but my thought process always was their families and can he go to work tomorrow and those kinds of things, because at the minor league level, they're not being paid. They play for the love of the game. And if they go down, they can't be the breadwinners for their families as well. So when I had my team together, we had a doctor on the sideline. We had a trainer that traveled with us. That was one of the components for me that was very important and that I adopted from the NFL. My team was put together just like an NFL team. I had an ambulance at my field. And it should be a requirement for Pee Wee, minor league, that you have personnel there that can take care of a medical emergency should something of this magnitude arise. Now, just so everybody knows, there was an NFL player. His name was Chuck Hughes. He became the first, and this was back in 1971. He became the first and so far the only NFL player in history to die on the field due to a heart attack. He was a wide receiver who played for the Philadelphia Eagles and the Detroit Lions, as was playing for Detroit against the Chicago Bears when his incident took place. So they have come a long way since 1971. But his widow did see this game and saw DeMar go down. And she basically had PTSD, relived losing her husband. So this
I can only
is
imagine, like, yo.
Yeah. So back in 1971 compared to now, you know what I mean? Night and day. Night and day with the medical that's available.
Even, the same thing happened to Corey Soto. While it wasn't to field, they were practicing, got rid of 2 a day. He was literally practicing in Minnesota. He had a heart attack on the field. He was 27. They were preparing for him to die. That 2 a days were stressful and putting too much of it, especially extreme and or inclement.
True. For those of you that might not have heard everything that Star said, she was talking about 2-a-days in a player in Minnesota that went down. And the 2-a-days, they no longer do because they used to practice in the day early. We'll say morning and afternoon. We'll say like that to break up the time frames. And they would go full pads. Okay, they don't do that anymore. They have they don't go full out anymore. They're not really tackling. They're acting like they tackled somebody just to get the plays ran and that kind of thing. So what happens is, once again, your body is an amazing thing, and our body is very adaptable. But now that these players are not hitting, when in practices, their bodies are not used to being hit. Now, I'm not saying that's the case for this particular incident, because that's not the case. But for others that would be out here playing and they're getting the knee injuries or the deep thigh contusions or the sprained ankles and things along those lines. This is from their bodies not being used to being hit, and they're going full force when they hit the field. And a lot of them, unfortunately, since the invention of the hard helmet, the harder shoulder pads, they actually kind of go out there like they're invincible. And these items are supposed to protect them totally, and they don't.
They don't.
They just don't.
I mean, it's better than 1973, but they don't. They can't. There's so many injuries. There's so many different ways to get hit. There's just so many unimaginable things that can happen in a football game that they're doing the best that they can as
Mhm.
of right now with the equipment, but it is really it's a dangerous sport. I love it. Um,
Me too.
And as you
but
I think
guys
we
it,
all
it's
know,
do.
because
it's
every Monday we have the scores.
Yep. I got them, but we
I love it. I absolutely I live for it, but it's serious. And the doctors, the medical staff, just kudos to them. They bring in some of the best doctors and trainers
Mhm.
from around the world to be a part of the staff of these teams because it's they don't even mention a lot of the injuries that happen. You might not see in this day and age somebody get poked in the eye, but oh, somebody rolled an ankle. Somebody definitely had their knee pushed in a place that's not where a knee should go. So it's a lot going it's a lot going on. They get the wind knocked out of them several times. They play in all types of weather. They are still going from teams that have turf to teams that still have grass. That's a totally different impact on your body, since a different type of shock, different way to tackle. It's a lot going on. I wish they still had 2 days to prepare these players because the players are so much more agile and versatile now. I mean, to see a quarterback from my dad or my grandfather's day, they're going to stand in the pocket and throw the football. We've got, you look at Lamar, who is almost patterned after Michael Vick, and you see Mahomes, and these are running quarterbacks. They're like little running backs that are sometimes used as slot receivers. You've got some defensive ends that can also play safety. It's such a versatile game that it's no way that they won't get hurt. It's almost impossible. They're out there doing everything but the moonwalk, and we
Yep.
absolutely love it. But it is a danger.
It definitely is. It's a great sport to watch. I know that we all love it. We love the we look, when they make a big hit, I'm like, oh, I'm there. I'm there. I'm with them when they make that big hit and everything clashes and cracks and you go back to the huddle and everybody's good because you went back to the huddle. That's great.
We
That's
all
great.
we all be sitting there like, oh, and all that good shit. Yeah.
Yeah, we all
I'm the one
in it.
person that you because they caught the stupid
I
play.
think
Why?
what'd you say? What'd you say? I'm sorry, Jasmine.
I said, and I'm usually the one sitting there cussing at the TV because the coach called a stupid play.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So are we met? Okay. I know your Colts. I know. I'm sorry. I love you.
No, I
We
said
ain't
the
gonna talk
coach
about the Colts.
called a stupid play. I said
No,
the coach.
no. I said your
Oh,
coach. No,
the
I
coach.
said.
Okay, she
Oh,
said the
you said
coach.
the coach. I thought she was talking
The
about your
coach.
coach.
She said
I
the
thought she
No,
was talking
coach.
about
we're not even
her Indianapolis.
we're not even going to discuss the abomination that is the Indianapolis Colts. Okay,
Honey, please. The
I love you,
Browns ain't much better right
Jermaine,
this
but
year.
I hate your team.
Here's the thing. The other thing that a lot of people don't understand is contracts. I think a lot of times, and I know that we hear all about the franchise player, and that's it. Nobody realizes that the franchise player is the only one making that kind of money. Whoever's got that little tag on them. But you're talking about a roster of about 55 guys, and all of them do not make that kind of money, folks. They're not even close. Um, so I would like to just kind of read a little bit about who does make that kind of money so that you all can be clear of what they're making, so that maybe you'll understand better that it ain't everybody. Okay, so I'm looking at the 2023 rankings. So Deshaun Watson is making a mad amount of money of over $54,000. Dak Prescott, and I believe he's for Dallas. He's making 49. Patrick Mahomes coming in third with 46. Josh
Wait. You
Allen.
said wait. Are you? Did you say thousand or did you say million?
Millions.
Okay, I thought I heard
Millions.
you say thousand. That's why
I might have misspoke, but
okay.
it's millions. I do apologize. And this is the cap hit. Okay, this is the cap hit. So Josh Allen is fourth, and then Ryan Tannehill for Tennessee. I mean, I ain't never even heard of Ryan, but anyway, Ryan is coming in at 36. Now the total cash, number one is Mr. Aaron Rodgers. No surprise there with Green Bay, with 59 million. Deshaun with 46 million. Patrick Mahomes with 40 million. Kyler Murray of Arizona with 39 million, and Derek Carr of Las Vegas with 33. And then your base salary, Deshaun Watson with 46 million, sorry. Derek Carr of Vegas, 32. Dak Prescott with 31. Josh Allen with 27. Ryan Tannehill with 27. So I want y'all to realize all of these are quarterbacks.
And is that for a year or is that over their contract?
That's their salary.
Is that the salary for a certain amount of years or is it per year?
Right. Because some of those contracts are for 5 years.
So the NFL has contracts, okay? And during their contracts, because I've actually seen one, they're broke down. So depending on how many years that they signed for, what all their stipulations are in their contracts as well, because those contracts could have some incentives, some stipulations. You got to hit this many, you got to do this, that, and the other in order to get what's on. The only people I want y'all to know in the NFL that make money are the owners.
Yep.
They're the only ones that have any kind of guaranteed money. We can't hear you. We can't hear you, Star. Say it again. I can't hear you. Nope. Can't hear you. Wait a minute. Wait.
Are you on mute?
Are you on mute? We lost your audio.
Check her audio. Yeah.
No, her audio's on.
Because see, these are questions that I have like in regards to. So you hear a contract, you hear somebody say, okay, so he got a contract for say $1.4 million for 5 years. Does that mean that it's that amount for each year, or is that the combination of the 5 years?
Combination. 5 years.
Still can't hear you, Star.
Can you
it's
go
gotta
out?
Be on your... You want to go off and come back on?
Can't hear anything.
She's gonna go off, come back.
Yeah, on. Like those are the questions that I've had in regards. Like, so you hear,
right?
They have the press conference. This person got $303 million for 5 years, and I'm like, so does that mean that so it's a culmination of the 5 years equals that?
I think I just heard. Say it again.
You hear me? Can you
Yes.
guys hear me?
There you go.
Yeah.
You says that 33, like a 33, the combination of the 5 years.
Yeah, like is it 33 million per year, or is it the full 5 years? Is that equal to that 33 million?
Most of the contracts, while they, like she was saying, there are stipulations. You even see the full cost based on so many games. It's based on buyouts. It's based. There's so much guaranteed money. Some contracts have, so if you play 2 games, you'll never see that.
So there's guaranteed money in regard. So like if there's a contract, there's guaranteed money. So you're going to get that just because you stepped on the field.
No. Hell no. Okay, so think of the NFL as the plantation.
Yep.
Okay. Think of the NFL as the plantation, and Massa gonna make all the money, and you gonna pick all the cotton And if you miss 2 of the cotton balls, you don't get no money.
I'm mad at you about these damn cotton balls.
I'm just saying.
That's what it is. That's why they're called slaves.
Because you didn't make your quota. You didn't. They're going. The object is not for them to make money. It's for massa to make money.
That's it right there. It is not all that money. Not only that, a lot of people don't know. Paid every single state that a game in.
That's pay taxes.
They are taxed. So it's not like I just get paid every two.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Because that kind of wait, because that puts me in the mindset of okay, so let's go in a lower bracket, a much lower tax bracket. So if you're an hourly worker, depending on your state, hold on, depending on your state,
contracts are basically hourly workers.
Right, but that's the thing. Most people they're only going based on where they are. Based on your state, that shit changes. So I'm from Chicago, and in Illinois, anything in order to get overtime, you have to work 40 hours before you're able to see any kind of overtime. Here in California, if you work 8 hours in a day, anything beyond that 8 hours is considered overtime. So what I'm hearing, just in understanding that process, what I'm hearing is these men play this game and they're supposed to get this set amount of money, but depending on what that state that you played in says, you really don't get that.
Their checks aren't the same every week. They're not.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm understanding that correctly. So what you think somebody is being paid, what you think
they're really not.
They're really not.
And honestly, the only money in the NFL that is guaranteed is a signing bonus.
That's it.
That's it. Nothing else.
And you'll see what
that's why they try to go
get their contracts
the draft, because those are the only ones that get that signing bonus. The draft, the top 10 are the only that get that guaranteed money.
Signing bonus is the only money. That's why you see so many players trying to get endorsements.
Mm-hmm. Or if you don't see them, they're going to go in charitable things like $1 million ridiculous. They're going to be in every charity in it to offset something.
Right.
So this okay. So I guess I went through all of that to say, you people hear that somebody has a contract and you immediately assume that is all take home. Think about how when you go to work, you don't take home your whole salary. So let's not be so narrow-minded that we think that okay, they got these checks, that they got this, they got that. No, they got to do other shit to make money to make that shit stay, because again, when it comes to these sports, they are literally one injury away from.
So you have to be very smart about it. You got Marshawn Lynch was a great. So mad at him. Marshawn Lynch, his endorsement money check, because he knew your one hit him ending a career. So every player cannot do that, though. He had endorsements. Every player man sat at the Super Bowl and see, well, I won't get fined. That man has endorsements, and he's not even playing football. But everybody can. One doesn't have that salary. Everyone doesn't have, because another thing people don't understand, they live like us on a. Their doctors and their medical surgeries that they have off season cost more than people family.
Yep.
If you had the 2 Benzes, I can guarantee that they're having, and what they're paying these season would that pales So constantly, I'm not mad because they don't see it at all.
And the other thing is that a lot of people, what people don't understand, for example, since DeMar is like on everybody's mind, let me explain to you how much he makes a year, how much he made, how much he's supposed to make this season. And let me also explain this. If he is unable to come back and the NFL does not want to touch him because he had a heart attack, he is done. There is no more money coming from the NFL. He makes $160,000.
Contract. So that's something else people don't know.
How
Your
much?
rookie, your contract.
100. So Jermaine, when I was with him, his contract was the first year was $125,000. Okay. Second year, $125,000.
Okay, just because earlier, I just want to make sure.
Okay. Then his second year was $150,000. Okay. His third season was going to be $300,000. However, he got hurt. So then, once everything was all said and done, he was on IR the whole season. He only got $200,000 and a ticket out the front door. And because he did not play in his third season, he is not vested with the NFL. And that's a whole nother wonderful topic. That the reason why I love for the rest of my life Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, and Tom Brady, when they all walked out all those years ago to make sure that players like Jay could have the concussion protocol that they need to have, be able to go to the concussion doctors, which I might add that the NFL is only paying less than 33% of those claims. Less than. And these people actually have these symptoms. And then you have these contracts, and they are at your discretion. They're at their discretion to do with what they want to do with. Hang on 1 second. Let me get her back. Okay. Star, are you there?
Yep.
Got you back.
And I was gonna say, I have a client here in Indianapolis. He played for the Colts, and the same thing happened to him. He got injured his second season and was cut the third season because they didn't want to touch him no more.
Right. Certain injuries, the NFL is not. If it's a back injury, if it's a knee, they've made a lot of advances with.
It was a he got injured the preseason, second season with his ACL. They had him all his doctors and
You're breaking up, Jasmine. You're breaking up.
Sorry. Is that better?
Yeah. Let me hear you. Go slow.
So my client in his second season in a preseason game had an ACL injury. Second season, they did mind you, his rookie season, he was a starter. Second season, they gave him all of his doctor's appointments and let him still train, but he couldn't touch the field. Preseason, third season, they cut him off the roster. That was the end of his career.
Exactly.
And he was drafted.
Yeah. It doesn't, and honestly, being drafted or being a walk-on, it don't matter.
It don't matter.
It does not matter.
What it sounds like is don't judge people based on these contracts don't judge people based on these contracts that you think you see, because what you think that they're getting there, they may not be getting. So just in essence, I don't know, maybe this is a mind your business kind of
and then
thing.
The other crazy
or don't judge.
Right. The other crazy thing is two of his teammates got injured with him at the same time. But they cut them, they Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you got to go slow.
Okay. Two of his other teammates, they all had the same injury. It was weird how it happened that season. But instead of cutting them, one got sent to the practice team, and the other one got sent to the practice team on the Jaguars.
But you have to understand they can do what they want to do with you because technically you're unlike the NBA and unlike the Major League Baseball, these contracts are not guaranteed. Okay,
Exactly.
the NFL contracts are not guaranteed at all. So these players are at the mercy of their owners. They're not, they're the GM, the coaches. That's who's in charge of basically in charge of their lives. And if you're not producing, or they don't think you can produce, or you can't bring them more money, you're sent packing on your way. If you're disgruntled, if you're not happy, if you're we just lost one of our defensive ends because he spoke the truth, and then they turn around and fire the defensive coordinator today, which the DN, he just said the truth yesterday, and they benched him and didn't let him play, and I'm like, but he just said the truth, and you all knew you was gonna fire Joe Woods today anyway. So what was really? So he said it was Clooney said it was going 95% chance. 95% chance he would not be back in Cleveland. They benched him. And then they told him, man, never mind, don't come to Pittsburgh. Just don't worry about it. And then they fired Joe Woods today. Like, okay. But you have to understand, and I hope that people get a little something off of this, that a little information, especially in light of what happened to DeMar, because we don't know what his future holds. We don't know if they're going to allow him to come back. And if they don't, they're going to give him some medical, but they are not vested until they play 3 years. He is not vested.
Mm-hmm.
He's played 2. So it does
contract.
Right. And he makes $160,000. And yes, to a young 24-year-old, to a young person coming out, that's a lot of money, especially when you're coming from some of the places that some of these players are coming from. They've never seen money like that. And Mecca, I'm wondering if you can kind of talk a little bit about some of the pitfalls that some of these young men fall into. Is she there? Or did she freeze?
I think she froze. Oh my goodness.
I think she froze.
Yeah, it's that there's a lot of things that, and I'm glad that we're talking about these things. I'm glad that you're, stating exactly like what happens, how this works. Like nobody, you hear, you got this contract and you think that you're golden. Hearing you say you're not vested until you've been in there for 3 years. That's like, okay, let's understand this. Who knows what the fuck vested means?
They're probably betting that you don't. But you have to be vested. And when I say vested, so you can't be on an IR. You have to be an active player on the full roster for 3 years. You cannot be injured your 3rd year, even though you're still standing on the sidelines and you're still coming to practice and you're still doing this and you're still doing that. They go by a number of games that you play in. And that's what counts, is the number of games that you play in, not the ones where you necessarily, or at least where you dress and you're ready to go, but not the ones where you're injured and you're standing over there and you look cute in your sweatsuit. That game don't count for you.
Doesn't count. Yeah.
So so the question that you had for Star Mecca, what was that question again?
So these young players that come in, they get, like I said, they got a lot of money. They think it's a lot of money. $160,000 is probably more money than some of them have ever seen because of where they came from. what do, if anything, is the NFL? I know they have done some improvements, but what, if anything, are they doing for these young players to teach them how to manage their money?
They to a whole symposium. They're transitioning into, and it's not just our, and
Oh, she froze. Oh my gosh, she froze. You
What? There
froze.
she goes.
are you
There she goes.
There you
Go
go.
ahead.
Okay.
where they the beginning of the season on case of the money young 10 through 23 there, so that the NFL does a symposium, even go through some of them that are in, but once they get on the team thing, but it doesn't mean that you're going to money.
So in
Are
essence, what
getting
I'm hearing
into
is is that they give them some knowledge and you do what you do with it.
pretty much,
Mm-hmm.
pretty much,
Yep.
and you will constantly see circle every time players. Most of the things that cause failures is just it's it's a sense, an adoration. Oh my God, I've never got to ever live like this. To be told I've never seen this. And some of them really kind
So in
of
essence, what
mention
I'm
there are
hearing is that
Asian centers.
this is not necessarily to set them up for success at all. Okay. So how about this? Okay, I'll even put it this way. We got this right here to make it look like, hey, we got this. Let me put a bug in your ear. You might want to get to know this. I'm not telling you that it's mandatory or anything like that. I'm just telling you, you might want to get to know this. Knowing good and well, some people will take it and some people will not. So now you got these gentlemen, these young men who come into the NFL and they're like, hey, I got this, I got this, I got that, and they may not have the experience teaching or whatever to know even, okay, so if you're given this is what you're supposed to do, and then after that this is
Okay,
what you do. So now they're
so
there like, okay, yeah, I got this or whatever, so I can choose or I what, but I don't necessarily have someone saying, no, this is what you need to do, this is what you don't need to do.
let me stop you. The other people that were not touched are very heavy Asians, and money. The biggest one is your agent. Your is
Your agent
key.
takes off the top.
Yep.
Off the, so
Once
that 160. Go ahead and give him about what,
and
40,000 of that.
here's where it gets really using the number 160, because that's the contract first year. Because so imagine taking off the top. Also costs 50 that your agent paid. So it's 50 to 80,000 a year. Money back. They flew you there, making sure that you enough training to be healthy when you get there. You still, if you're aging, some play full service. Um, Famous ones was David. So many freaking players now. Rose, like it's some service, which is good for some. That's where everything is in house. That's believe 50% of your pay, so that agent or agency, separate accountants. Some have, and they still have a agent that has to these attorneys and accountants on retainer. So 160, you've already walked in at a 160 years as a rookie if you weren't, and you are season with probably having $80,000, same amount that we go to work for.
So, like I say, the NFL is a business, and the football players are the plantation workers, whether they want to realize it, and it don't matter how much you make and how much you don't make, because you're not a billionaire like the owner.
And
You'll
let's be
never
clear, you
be.
hear these
You're
numbers and you just assume automatically that this is what it
But
is.
that's what they want you to do, because you notice they only give you the big contract numbers. That's
Right,
the
because if
only
they
thing.
really gave you the number that the person actually takes home, you would be like, why the fuck are you doing it?
Well, no. Now let me recently, when you numbers recently in our breakdowns in there, you stop at 33 million real world. That's a, but where it says this much is for this many games, and because it's the same as get 33 million a year, so much of that the contract is signed. Then other amounts the next year regulations are then year number another amount. Then maybe we can track you, or if we care, is so much in these contracts that it
Yeah, and the contracts, like I said, it's nothing is guaranteed. They're not guaranteed.
it's
The only
not guaranteed.
guarantee is is your signing bonus. That is the only money that is guaranteed. The other money is not. And not only that, but you have to give it, if you have an agent, you have to give a percentage to the agent. If you're trying to buy mama a house, and you're trying to buy sister a car, and you're trying to get brother out of jail, and then, before you know it, you don't have any money left. And somebody told you about an investment, and you tried it, and you put
And you
in
lost,
X amount of dollars, and now there's nothing because you don't have any business sense. You play football.
and then the end.
So,
And I've been around things. So of course, when your club scene is everything, in clubs with football friends have drank every year club at the bar. I'm handing these guys a dollar bill, and some not understanding the contracts or what they're really getting paid every night. Not
and
have
then
it
they're out here
there.
trying to buy flashy cars. They're buying,
Mm-hmm.
they're getting jewelry made specially
Aid.
for them. You're getting, like I said, if you don't have any endorsements, if you don't have a big name, if you don't play well, if you're just on the practice squad, but you say I play for the NFL because you got an NFL cord. Okay, you got a little cord that says I'm in the NFL, so everybody assumes,
You
like you
got
said,
all this
Danny,
money.
everyone assumes that you've got all this money. And I know some Browns players that just live in the neighborhood. It's cheaper,
Mm-hmm.
and these are not guys that are going to get the endorsements that the flashy players might get, even if it's a local endorsement, even if it's something. Baker Mayfield here was making all of these crazy little commercials, and then
I,
they involved
I
his
like
wife
those
in it.
commercials.
So, yeah, they are
They
funny,
were
but they were making.
cute, but he had
So but then he's traded, so there goes that money. They're not. He wanted to do a moving out day, but that didn't happen.
that didn't happen.
So, you don't make it, the NBA and the Major League Baseballs, those contracts are guaranteed. They have guaranteed contracts. The NFL
Mm-hmm.
does not. And then a lot of these players do not make the what the quote unquote franchise players make. And then when you're looking at a roster, and then if you're looking at if you're on the practice squad, you're making about 12,000, point blank period. You're making about
That's
12,000 a year, depending on what team you're on or whatever the case may be. That's it. You still got to have a job.
all they do, and so
you,
that up for in and possibly league. Nothing in the league is guaranteed. the money that the owners have. Only guaranteed.
That's why I
money.
always said I wanted to be an owner. I never wanted to be a player. I always wanted to be an owner because
Yeah,
they got the money. They making the money. Man, and here's the other thing. You know, when you get into like the other thing I wanted to bring up too, because a lot of people don't understand this either. An NFL player is contractually bound to go to the trainers, the massage therapists, whatever the NFL, whatever that team sends you to. You cannot, as a player, go out on your own and go get somebody to work on your body because your body is no longer yours. It is owned by the team and the NFL. So what happened to Deshaun Watson, and I will stand by this, was a lie. And if anybody thinks that this man did what they claim he did and the team knew nothing about it, you have lost your freaking mind. Not to mention, it was a lie. It was all a lie. It was all a lie. And they have penalized the Browns as usual. Because we've never heard of anyone getting suspended for 11 games and then, oh, we're going to bring you back just in time to play your old team. Really? So there is, and I know this for a fact because I could not take Jay to a chiropractor. She couldn't touch him because he's an NFL player.
That is true.
So in other words, I guess
the NFL is charging an astronomical amount.
So I guess from us mere mortals' perspective, don't believe the hype.
That part. That part.
That's what I get from that. From not knowing a lot about it to just, just like watching that, thinking about what his family went through, what he was going through, what his teammates were going through, what the staff, like, it's a trickle down effect. Regardless of who's affected, it's still a trickle down effect, and that young man is the person that is going to have to deal with everything. So, and those of you all who are thinking that he is paid, he got all of this, he got all of that.
He doesn't. And the other thing is that I know a lot of people contributed to his foundation. I mean, it's up to like $7 million, $8 million. They put a lot of money in the foundation. However, I worked in foundations. He won't get any of that money.
I can understand why people were.
I don't know why you thought that.
I mean, people were trying to help, and I get it. But they put it all into the foundation, and it's great for his foundation. It's great for his kids, and I'm sure he'll do a lot of great things with the funds that have been put in there. But if people were thinking that it was going to go to help him, that's not how foundations are put together. He won't get a dime.
So I'm like really like I feel like I'm back in my old football fan rush days. Start making like, yo, like, I wasn't on the camera. Like I'm still sitting here like, yeah, I'm listening, I'm learning. Yeah, teach me.
Well,
when I tell
and like I said,
what you think, it's not.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Star.
It's not what
right.
you think at all. This is big business. This is really like she said. I mean, think about it. I've been a Minnesota Vikings fan for years. I can hundreds of players I've been a fan, but the money they still have their own. The wheels keep turning. It's not gonna stop. That's what it
is. And a lot of, like I said, a lot of people, you hear NFL player, you think, oh, they got bukus of money. Young girls is throwing panties and room keys, and you might get with somebody that's only on the practice squad, but he can tell you he's an NFL player because he is, and he can show you his NFL card, just as simple as that. But there is only, because if you stop and you think about it, even if you think about the money, there is no way that they can pay all of the people on that roster, the 53-man roster. They can't pay everyone $400 million. It's not going to happen.
So in essence, they're banking on someone to not be okay so they don't have to pay.
No, on anything. They don't. You're lucky if you get your money, pull a Marshawn Lynch. Expect you to get it. They're not. You're gonna get hurt. It's the professional sports career.
Pay attention.
You're not
pay attention.
Not only that, but you're and a lot of people argue, and I'm gonna kick back on this argument because I would have agreed with it a long time ago, but no, after being with someone like this, no. What they do with their bodies and how their bodies, I can remember being at the Super Bowl in Indianapolis, and some players were, during the various times of the evening, players were walking by, and you could pretty much tell what era those players played in by how their bodies were. Some of them had fingers going like over here, and their knees were like, and they're hunched over, and you could tell what era that they played in. And it's very eye-opening to see, and then to know that a lot of these players have a lot of aches and pains after they get out of the game, a lot of problems physically. They earn every penny that they make, and if some of them get the opportunity to make a dime more, let them do it, because they're gonna need it. They're gonna need it. And for many years, the NFL hid concussions.
Yeah.
They hid it.
Also, for
and until
these players were retired disability, they could not disability. They're there by the federal government.
Yeah, they still can't.
A disability.
They could get fired. Yeah, they'll fight it. The NFL will fight it. Ladies, before we wrap up, I want you all to listen to something that came out in light of Damar Hamlin's devastating injury last week that kind of rocked the whole NFL world, and I think it's pretty poignant. So take a listen. Let's see if I can get it to go.
I just don't believe the league was never considering continuing.
I'm gonna keep it real. We in that field. I'm kind of hot right now too. I'm kind of hot because we do this every freaking time something happened on this field. Everybody want to pivot and act like they. I done heard people talking about, just the mental health of the players, and yeah, you could die. They don't even know they could die out here. We sit here and talk about this stuff every single time. Schedule remakes. How we gonna make it up? What the league feels about it? I don't give a damn what the league feels about it. Let's keep it real. Why we don't talk about the stuff that matters? This young man, you want to know? You want to know how what this you need to know about him? He's 24 years old, right? He got a contract for $160,000. That's his bonus, and he earns $825,000 each year. You say, G. Bush, why are you talking about this man's money? Because guess what? He's been in the league 2 years. That means he's not vested. That means if he never plays another down in his life, he don't get another check for the NFL. Let's be clear about this. You got to play 3 to 4 years before you even sniff a pension. So all these heartwarming and prayers and condolences don't do nothing for that boy's mom that got to go home, look at her son, and he might need extensive care for the rest of his life. And you know what the NFL will tell you? Well, we'll look out for the people like him. No, you won't. No, you won't. Let's talk about the disability policy for the NFL, right? They moved it from $22,000 a month to $4,000 in the last collective bargaining agreement. Did you know that the NFL has a private board that reviews all aspects with their doctors and with their neurologists and their specialists? They can deny benefits even if Social Security deems you to be permanently disabled. The league can come back and then say, the government is, they're experts, but let's take it over so we don't pay anything out. Only 15% get approved by Social Security. The league says that number should be lowered. Get that. 15% of the people who apply for disability in this country, I know, I was a disability expert. It's very low. I submitted over almost 250,000 applications in 1 year one time. I know. Since the CTE settlement, only 6.5% of the settlement has been paid, according to the admin's website. I looked it up. And 60% of the claims have a qualifying diagnosis but have not been paid. Let's talk about this. They're also moving the pension. And that pension, he's not going to make it to 55. He's 24. And they've moved that between 3,000. They moved it down to 3,000 when it was 5,600 a month. And the last stat that you should know about is the Bills owner Terry Pagula owns the Sabres as well as the Buffalo Bills, and his net worth is $6.7 billion. My question to you is, NFL, when do salaries become guaranteed? If you know these young men are going out there and they could die on that football field, I don't give a damn what your thoughts and prayers are. Do the right thing. I just heard it being said 7 times. This is a savage sport. Men are dying every week, and you covered that up during CTE, and now you want to act like you the top of the food chain because you got the CPR people on the field on time? That's the least you should do. You're not gonna pay that man's. You're not gonna pay that man's tuition for his kids. You're not gonna give him no disability money. You don't do nothing. All you do is collect them big checks, and we go play fantasy footballs. And I hear these dudes' thoughts and prayers for a whole damn 2 hours. Y'all don't care about them kids. These young black kids is putting on the line. And you telling them what they put on the line ain't worth it because you know why? Because you don't want to pay for somebody that's broken and battered and can't take care of themselves because it costs you money. So it is all about money. And I heard nobody talking about no contracts. And they sitting up here cashing these checks. We worship these owners. They do anything they want to. Anything. And as long as the product is good, we salute it. I'm pissed off today because ain't nobody talking about the real stuff. There's people out there, players are saying they just want to wait for us to die. I like the NFL just like the rest of y'all, but I'll be damned if I'm going to sit up there and pat Roger Goodell on the back for running this organization the way he does. They run it like a criminal organization. Sick of it. I'm tired of that, man. I just had to get that off my chest because all this stuff, you ain't talked about what this boy going to go through. This kid could be damaged the rest of his life. And we talk about making up games. Care about making up no damn football games.
Wow.
Yeah, going back to
I want to say preach.
they get paid.
I want to say preach. I want to say well. I want to say a whole bunch of things, but like, yo, that's some real shit. Like, did y'all really hear that?
Oh yeah, we just said it.
I know you and her know. I know y'all know, but like people like me that don't necessarily know these things, like there's no humanity in that.
So
somebody like
me ask you.
Somebody like me, that's the person that goes to my head. There's no humanity in this. So you want him to put, you want these people, these men, to put their lives on the line, but you don't give a fuck.
No, they don't. Jenny, let me ask you, the players got like an astronomical salary, like to $50 million a year.
Say again. I'm sorry. I didn't quite get that. Say it one more time.
So them say like, oh, $30 million. You thought that was $30 million a year?
I didn't know. I thought, okay, so when, and this is me coming from, I don't know about NFL contracts or anything else like that. Now, I am an NFL fan, and as you guys see every week, we do go through the scores and stuff. I'm a fan. But I don't know the in depth things. That's something that I've been learning from you and the other guys from Football Fan Rush. But I thought when I heard and that's why I asked the question up front. When I hear, okay, so he just got a contract for $150 million, 50 million for 5 years. I did not understand or know whether that meant that each year you're gonna get that, or it was a culmination of those years. But if you think about those years, you don't think about what you guys were saying in regards to, in order to get this amount of money, you got to do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K. We don't think about that. You just hear that, okay, as long as you're on the team, you're going to get this certain amount of money. You don't think that, okay, yeah, you're on this team, but if you don't do, like I just said, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, you're not getting that at all. We're not under that understanding or that impression, because when they do these announcements and they're all, the fanfare and everything, I know you guys know what it looks like. It's a fanfare. They up there and they, they popping their collar and everything else. Yeah, I got this contract. I got this contract. I got this contract. You think that because you signed that you're guaranteed to get that all automatically. So when you said everything is not guaranteed, this is the only thing that is guaranteed. For those of us like me who did not know that, that's like, it's mind blowing to understand that this young man just went through what he went through. He's not guaranteed really pretty much anything.
Paid for that game.
Right, but you're seeing them put their lives on the line every week.
But that's why, but you have to understand something too, Danny. That's why this hit home so hard. I really do believe that's why this particular incident hit home and it resonated with all of the players, current and past, probably some future, across the NFL. And let me just add, all we're talking about tonight is the NFL. So if you think this blows your mind, we need to start with college. We need to start with Pee Wee, because that's where I don't even want to get into college. In college, there's nothing.
And the thing, and the other part I think for me is that you can even go beyond football. Yeah, all of this is like, oh my God, these people are putting their lives on the line to play a sport that they love and they genuinely love and or were put into it. But this is the other part, because and this goes actually kind of beyond the NFL. You have these people who you think are making this money.
Okay, so
and they're not.
That's not true. Contracts are guaranteed. 160. They're going to see it. They also play.
So okay. So and just so I can make sure that I'm for clarity's sake, you said there are certain sports that those contracts are guaranteed.
Baseball has one of the.
Baseball and the NBA. The NFL does not have guaranteed contracts.
Are they the only ones?
I don't know if the NHL does or doesn't. I'm not sure on the NHL.
They do, but the NHL is not guaranteed, but the NHL doesn't have all the stipulations that the NFL has.
Okay.
Right.
Oh.
Right.
So I guess what I am getting from this whole thing is that everyone read the fine print.
Definitely read the fine print, but I mean, like, I think the thing that hit home for me, and hurt me the most was that when he woke up, the first question on his mind was, did we win? He loves this sport. Like, the fact that these players love what they do and yet these owners don't give two shits about them is the biggest problem.
Okay, so you got this look on. Hold on, wait. Star Mecca got this look on her face right now, and I need to understand what this look is. And speak slowly. Hold on, wait. And speak slowly so we can hear exactly what you're saying.
I'm trying. I said,
No. We heard exactly what you said, Jasmine. What I'm saying is Star Mecca got this look on her face that I need to be explained, and I need her to speak slowly so we can understand exactly what she is saying.
Okay.
They keep telling grab. I want to hear the camera in that man's face and let him tell then. Sure.
So you're saying you want to see him on camera and him speaking, and that's where that'll make you feel better. I can say I feel the same way. Honestly, I really do.
He's back in Buffalo. I would imagine he went back. He went back today, and I would imagine. You have to understand one thing. It's going to take a little while because he did have a tube down his throat for a minute. But they did say, and from the reports that I read and things that I heard, that when the Buffalo Bills scored that first touchdown, he set off all the alarms yelling in the hospital. So hopefully, I think that hopefully there's no damage to his lungs. That's the key thing right now. His motor skills seem to be, his mental capacity seems to be good. And actually, Jasmine, what is really good about what he said when he woke up is the fact that he does recall he was playing a football game. Actually him asking who won was actually a good thing from a neurological standpoint, because they knew that he remembered there was no brain damage. That's what they were looking for. And what they were searching for. Can he remember where is he within the brain? Because that's why they put him out and put him under, to save his brain. Because without oxygen, his brain would have died, or parts of it. So him waking up and asking, who won the game, meant that he remembered what happened to him. Basically, he was playing a football game and he passed out. The other thing that is real important in all of this is that, and I think Danny said it best, we can't assume. A lot of times there's a lot of stuff that fans are not told. There's a lot of things that fans don't know. You don't know some of this until you are actually either truly committed to an NFL player as a girlfriend, as a wife, as a good friend even. You don't know what these guys go through. There's nothing like waking up next to them and they're having a bad dream, or their bodies cramp.
Get out of bed.
Their bodies, they can't get out of bed, or their bodies cramp up so bad that you have to, they're having Charlie horses, because maybe they played in a 110-degree game. If it's 110 outside on that field, it's hotter than that. The field is hot. And then they have all that equipment on and they try to keep them hydrated, but that doesn't always work. There's just a lot of things that go into this. And I think what we did tonight was just try to shine a light on some of it. I'd love for you to come back, Mecca, and we could do this again. We got to do maybe we got to do like a Super Bowl edition of this.
I will, because I'll do it.
I'm gonna say open invitation, and it's not NFL only. Yes, she is definitely my NFL expert. She's mine. I'll share her with y'all, I promise you. But I need her on here for some other ones, because but we're gonna
That's
stick
why
to
I got a
NFL.
crown now. Italy.
Hey,
Hi,
it's J
Dub.
Dub.
Hey, J Dev. Hey, Jay. But it's just really, like I said, it's super duper. It's more than people really know. There's a lot of stuff that's not told. As fans, technically, you're not supposed to know all of this stuff anyway. You're just supposed to be a fan. This is the
That's right.
business side of the NFL, and it's not super duper. It's not pretty, but it is not about the players. I'm going to be honest about that. When you talk about the business side of it, the business side is about making money off of the players' backs, front, sides, whatever, hands, and
They
that's really what
just need
it's about.
it. Grace
It
wins.
is.
I love it, but it's a lot.
It's a lot. And it can be actually a great stepping stone for players that have come from, maybe not as wealthy of a family. It is a great opportunity, but they have to also, try to stay healthy. They spend a lot of money on keeping their bodies together. There's a lot of treatment that goes on that people don't understand. I think one of the most pivotal pictures that I ever saw in my life was a black and white picture, and it was actually of Michael Jordan. And it was after he had played a game. He was sitting on a bench by himself, and he had his feet, both of his feet, in buckets of ice.
And
He had a towel over his head, and he had both of his knees wrapped in
wrapped in
ice
ice.
after a game.
That's,
And it was just him, and this photographer just caught the essence of what an athlete goes through, what the part that we don't see when they come off the court, or when they come off the football field, when they come off the baseball field. We don't see, honey, get hit by a pitch going 100 miles an hour.
Oh,
It gonna hurt for a
it
minute,
does hurt.
okay?
I've been hit by a
Oh no 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 no
baseball
no no
and a
no
softball.
no 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 no
play
no no no
softball,
no
so
no. Thank you. No, shit's not gonna hurt. This shit gonna wait.
It's gonna bring
My
it
senior
to your
year,
knees.
my senior year in high school, my coach had a pop fly, and I was center field, and I went to go catch, and I had a swollen face for like 2 weeks.
oh,
Oh
yes.
catch being hit by a pitch.
Yeah.
Oh, I've had that happen too.
So to all the folks out there, all I'm saying is this: until you walk a mile in these athletes' shoes, do not say nothing about their contract.
You don't know nothing.
You don't know anything. You don't know what they go through. You don't know how hard they train. You don't know what's in that Kool-Aid. I do what's in the Gatorade. Okay. You don't know what's
going through here. You don't
You
know what's
don't-
going through here as they're preparing to do even what you even have an idea of what you think that they actually do.
Yeah, and I need y'all just to be fans. Cheer when you're supposed to and cut everything else out, because it's really honestly not your concern. And a lot of you have never, ever played at this level,
At
and
that
never will.
level.
And it's
Oh,
a totally
it's
different beast.
totally different. Fast. Oh my God.
Mm-hmm. So
Fast and super competitive. It's an adrenaline rush.
it's a lot. And I think Mecca mentioned it, and I'm not sure if everybody heard her, but I want to reiterate one of the things that she said earlier, which is understand this. And then this is for my folks that want to get into the NFL. And I was an owner of a minor league team, so I can also speak on this. I worked the combines, the NFL combines. I did that for years in Indianapolis. I worked for the Indiana Firebirds for 3 years. I did their combines. I did the combines for Fusion up in Fort Wayne for 2 years. I ran their combines. Let me explain something to you young players that want to get out here and do this. First of all, you got to get through that combine. And if you can't get through that combine, don't worry about it. If you're able to be a walk-on, that's great. You can walk on. But let me explain something to you. These teams are set. They're only going to take so many players a year. They're not taking 55 or 53 players. They're not trying to fill their whole roster. They're only going to fill a few spots. And some of those spots, they're just going to transfer players, because when they tell you it's a brotherhood, it's a brotherhood. They pass players from one team to another team to another team. They pass coaches from one team to another team to another team. If you haven't seen that, please pay attention. You've got to be super spectacular, special, and everything else in order to get on an NFL team nowadays, and not a legend in your own mind. Okay? Because a lot of you are a legend in your own mind. There's more to it. So anyone that wants to try out, please, I encourage you to do so, but understand what you're up against and make sure that you have the right people in your corner, not yes men and yes women and not takers, but people that are there to support you and put you in a position to succeed, especially at this level, because it's a lot.
It's it's a change to what I wouldn't believe, and it comes very hard. RC, you made it to the NFL Cup. Yeah. So you got to do. And even if you make every single ready to be out, so you can't.
Right. You can't have a bad game. You can't have an off game. You can't be out there dropping passes. You can't be, because if your teammates and your coaches don't get on you, you got the media. If you ain't got the media, you got the fan. So when we're talking about the mental stability that you have to have as well, this ain't your high school glory days. This is totally different when you step into a man's world. Totally different.
So bring your A game, like she said.
And I relate to this in a very, very in the NFL. I remember one morning he was like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna make breakfast and like some dreams because they were all there by week." Let's just say he went back to Escalade, and I did all the shouldn't walk through the door. He walked it through the door, and it came. Let me show you how to hold. You won't fumble. Sign mine. Hey, are you gonna get? I'm one of your closest friends from another investment idea. I don't even want. Not go grocery shopping. And all he wanted to do, go grocery shopping. He decided to go grocery shopping. So they have to deal with. And case in point, we go from that one of the biggest players in this city to he's no longer now everybody everything that he did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that
can't imagine. We can't imagine
anything. Then heaven forbid the one is $100,000 to a gas station to pump. He was like you pump your own gas? That's your contract? Like what? Go forward if I don't put.
Some gas in here. We pushing. That's not gonna look good.
Exactly.
And And I understand that. I understand that one part because we went to dinner once, had the kids, and this guy evidently recognized Jay, and I'm trying to think about protecting the children. I mean, y'all talk whatever it is you need to talk, but when you out with your family, you don't get a chance to just chill and be with your family because people will know that you're by their build, by how they carry themselves, or maybe they've seen you if you're in your hometown, they've followed your career, and so you don't get a moment's peace. You can't do we take for granted being able to go to the grocery store. We take for granted to be able to pump the gas in our car, have dinner with our family. We take that for granted, but when it's taken away from you because a celebrity all of a sudden it's something that you're not prepared for. And once again, we get back to that mental part that Danny was talking about, and it can take a toll on you. So ladies, I got to get off of here because you know what? We've been talking and talking and talking, and it's been wonderful. And we have ran over time, which is fine too. But I just got to say thank you to Mecca for coming on tonight. I love you, girl.
Yes, thank you, Mecca.
3 ladies.
And then
she's my bestie. Anyway.
And then
taking pictures.
Wait a minute, and then there's Danny. Okay. Just Danny. Just Danny. Acting like ain't nobody else on the show know who she is. Really? Okay, thanks a lot.
Hey.
That's my bestie. Okay, we know. You've only said it since the beginning of the show. Okay, we got it.
Anyway, we can continue on.
All right, y'all. Woo! I am so happy. Thank you for joining us tonight. Danny and Miss Jasmine, I know that Jasmine is traveling too, and so we're going to skip our regular ending and just let
one of the hardest working women ever.
Right over there.
You know, y'all leave me alone.
No, this is giving props.
It's okay.
It was a compliment.
This is giving props, baby.
But I want everyone to know that the Ebony Exotic Experience, the Second Coming Burlesque Edition, the tickets are on sale. You can go out to Eventbrite and get your tickets right now. Your VIP experience tickets are $50 off. And your general admission tickets are $50 off. So it ends on January 31st. All of them go back up. So now is the time to grab some tickets. Early bird tickets. Get ready for Valentine's. That's a great little Valentine's gift that you can share until October. And we got a lot in store for you. So we're on Eventbrite. Once again, it is the Ebony Erotic Experience, the Second Coming Burlesque Edition. And yes, that means dress in burlesque. That's what that means. It's going to be held in Cleveland, Ohio, and we will let everybody know the location once you get your ticket. But other than that, we're not divulging. But do know this. If you're VIP, you get access to 2 floors.
Yes.
I'm just going to put that out there. 2 floors of naughtiness. Yes. So make sure you get your tickets. Everybody, we will see you next Monday night right here again on Juicy Tales Erotic Chat for my beautiful melanated queens. We want to say good night. God bless. Keep healing, Mr. Demar. We hope that everything works out for you and your family. And in parting, remember to enjoy, enlighten, and embrace eroticism. And we'll see you right back here next Monday, 6 p.m. for our folks out on the West Coast, 8 p.m. for those people Central Standard Time, 9 p.m. for Eastern Standard, and 10 p.m. for our followers in Barbados. All right, guys. No out music tonight, but we do love everybody. Hearts and kisses. We'll talk to you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.